Hello everyone and welcome back. In this episode we will visit a dream destination for both of us, Sint Maarten in the French Caribbean. After an 8-hour flight from Charles de Gaulle, Paris, we are finally here. The temperature is about 30 degrees Celsius and the climate is really nice. We did choose to stay at Hommage Hotel and Residence on the French side of the island, close to Marigot and the Sandy Grounds, which is the area's name. The island consists of two different countries, the Dutch, with Philipsburg as the main town, and you have the French side and the main town Marigot. In total, the island has about 42,000 inhabitants and has an area of only 34 square kilometers. During this day, we want a luxury but yet personal touch of our stay. The Hommage Hotel has lots of art and the artists are working with different projects around the hotel area. We had a nice view over the lagoon towards the Dutch side, where you can see the higher buildings. After a quite long flight, we ended up at the hotel restaurant by the beach to enjoy some beverages and just soak in the warm and nice atmosphere. The hotel is also listed as LGBTQ friendly hotel, which means a lot to us. After a good night's sleep, it was time for us to head down to the beach restaurant to enjoy some breakfast. After a really nice breakfast in peace and quiet, we started to explore the surroundings. Unfortunately, the area was very bad damaged by the hurricane a couple of years ago, and they still continue to build and rebuild the houses. Just 10 minutes walk from our hotel, we have this beautiful beach, Bay Rouge, which is actually the beach that Columbus once arrived at when he sailed from Europe. We were here quite early, so it was almost completely empty, and we enjoyed a morning bath in the Atlantic Ocean. We continued to walk inwards to the main town of the French side, Marigot. It was a walk about 1.5 hours. Unfortunately, it was a little bit hot during this walk because we didn't realize that it would be so hot during the midday. On the top hill you can see the ruins of Fort Louis. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too hot for us to go up there. Instead, we ate a really nice Caribbean lunch in the marina. We have actually done a separate video about the different restaurants and what we have eaten during our stay here. So please like and subscribe and look at the other videos. We did choose to go with a bus, or minivan as they are. You just call them by the street or go to a main bus stop. But you cannot take the bus everywhere if you don't call them first. They don't have any time schedule, so they go where you want to go and when you want to go. Back at the hotel, we enjoyed some pool hanging around and just enjoyed the wonderful hotel. For dinner this evening, we did choose Lola, which is a French-Italian restaurant with some Caribbean vibes. It is a really nice pearl. It doesn't look much from the street, but when you go down to the beach, you have this wonderful restaurant. Back at the hotel, we felt that we had to try out the bar at the hotel by the beach before it was time to summarize the day and get a good night's sleep for the next adventure the next day. Our project the next day was to walk from Sandy Ground to Maho Beach. We thought it was a simple promenade of about 1.5 hours, but it was up and down, and some way it was not really suitable for walking. So due to Google Maps, 1 hour and 40 minutes was actually about 2.5 hours. Now we have arrived to the Dutch side, and suddenly there are sidewalks by the road and the streets are much better quality. We continue our walk along Kopekoy Beach, with a really cliffy area but has lots of small beach areas that you can go down to. But now we are finally at one of the biggest beaches on the Dutch side, the Mullet Beach. Here there are lots of restaurants and bars that you can enjoy something to drink or eat while you're staying here. It's a really family-friendly beach, but it gets deep quite fast. But the weather and the warm, nice water was really good for us after the long walk from the French side. The area around here is more exploited with lots of hotels and casinos and other entertainment. For us it felt a little bit too touristy. Now we are finally here at Maho Beach, the famous airport beach where you can see the planes land just over your head, or maybe take off and you get a nice blast of airplane fuel and sand. Close by you have the Sunset Bar, which is a really nice bar, very touristy, but they have lots of beverages and a wonderful view over the beach area. We enjoyed some beverages and even ate some lunch here while we look at some plane arriving and departing. This is a place where you can say the Swedish expression "håll i hatten" or "hold your hat", because when the plane takes off, it rolls out and people, as you see here, just get thrown in the ocean. During the finale of the landing, the plane's actually less than 30 meters over your heads. After a full day at the beach, it was time for us to enjoy some dinner at Le Segal. It is a really fancy restaurant, as you see here. We enjoyed a really nice dinner and service before it was time to head back to the hotel and reflect the day in Maho Beach and the airplanes. After a good night's sleep, we went to the bakery, which is about a 5 minutes walk from our hotel. We purchased some picnic, nice freshly baked sandwiches. It was raining a little bit in the morning, but soon enough when the sun came out, we headed to our favorite beach, Bay Rouge. An easy walk of 10 minutes from our hotel. Despite this beach is one of the best beaches here at Sint Maarten, it's not crowded at all. We were here at the weekend during lunchtime, and you have plenty of room to spread out and enjoy the wonderful water. After a full day at the beach in the sun, it was time for us to get something to eat for dinner. We went to the restaurant Cote Lagoon, which is a small restaurant by the lagoon. Here you got a really personal and friendly service and enjoy really nice food. Time to head to bed quite early, because tomorrow we will go on a road trip to the other side of the island. After the morning rain stopped, we headed to the taxi that will take us to Philipsburg. The taxi journey took about 45 minutes and costs $30. The island has lots of mountains and we was driving upwards and downwards and finally came to this main city here at the Dutch side. This is the most touristic part of the island and you have surely seen videos from here. Here is where all the cruise ships arrives, that docks in Sint Maarten. It's a lot of more commerce and shops here and restaurants than you have on the French side. After a walk about 15 minutes from the cruise ship terminal, you arrive at the beachfront. Here you can rent beach chairs and you have lots of restaurants and bar to sit down and relax and people watching. The touristic part of this area is about 3 streets upwards from the beach, and if you are here you need to visit those two because it has their charm of the town. This part of Holland is not a part of EU, it's a duty-free area. So you have lots of stores where you can purchase electronic, jewelries and other expensive stuff. But you can also make some great bargains on different touristy souvenirs. It's a really friendly area and you feel safe almost everywhere. But you should always be cautious as you should be on vacation to keep your belongings close to you and watch out for pickpockets. On the beachfront you can rent beach chairs for a few hours or a full day with some complimentary beverages. You can also stay at a hotel, a swimming pool area that they offer day passes. Or as us, just stroll around and maybe go into a bar or restaurant to enjoy some food and the view. Philipsburg was founded 1763 and today has about 1,900 inhabitants. During our stay here it was about 28 degrees Celsius and a light breeze, so it was perfect day to stroll around in town. On our way back we took the buses that take a little bit longer than the taxi, but it was a really nice experience. The buses goes from Philipsburg to Marigot and cost $2 per person, so it's not very expensive comparing with the taxi journey that we took here. Now we're passing through the border control and we are in France and EU. One thing to remember is that in Marigot on the French side they are very traditional, and on a Sunday everything is pretty much closed, even the bus station, so we had to take a taxi further on to our hotel at Sandy Grounds. It was really nice to explore Philipsburg the day before, but I would say we prefer the French side with a much more personal touch and not so much touristy areas. Now we have come to the last day on our vacation here, and as a grande finale, we will have a day at sea. And no, we are not going on a cruise. We will go with a speedboat around large part of the island with Billy Bones boat charters. So we headed to Simpson Bay Lagoon and we started our journey outside the lagoon with a really nice crew and a guide that told us a little bit about the area. Now we are leaving the Dutch side of the island and continue towards the French side and sailing under the bridge close to Marigot, where we started the journey this morning. Now we're setting course north and out on the Canal Anguilla, which is the sound between Anguilla Island and Sint Maarten. Here we meet the Norwegian school ship and then setting course on high speed north. The first stop of the tour is the National Reserve Royal Creole, where we will stop and make some diving with snorkels. It was an excellent experience. Unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties with filming, but it was still excellent and we got to see a lot of sea turtles. As you see, it was quite rough sea and we headed in the bow, so it was really bumpy. It was a little bit hard to drink the complimentary beverages during this crossing out to the island Tintamara, where we will have the next stop. In the shelter of the island it was really calm and we enjoyed some snorkeling and the wonderful beach. The island is also a part of the nature reserve, so you are not allowed to pick anything or touch any animals. After a while we headed back towards the main island. We made a short stop by the beach of Cancas and later on enjoyed a really nice lunch at the Lola's. Lola's is the common name for this type of restaurant in the areas. The barbecue was excellent, and after the lunch we strolled around along the beach and enjoyed some swimming before it was time to board our speedboat again to set the course southbound. All the beaches at St. Martin are public, and they cannot refuse you entrance. If you come with car to a gate, you can say to the guard that you want to visit the beach and he let you through. Our final stop is Maho Beach again, and we see his Airbus 330 from Air France landing before we set the course back to our starting point in the Simpson Bay Lagoon. This was a really wonderful experience. It was a wonderful crew on board and we enjoyed every minute. So if you are going to St. Maarten, we highly recommend you to go with a boat tour around the island. Now it's time for our final dinner here. We did choose Mesa Luna, the French Italian restaurant that we ate here a couple nights ago. We enjoyed a really nice meal by the beach. We were both quite sleepy after a day at sea with lots of impressions and the wind and sun. After a good night's sleep, we headed to the cafe to enjoy a light breakfast before getting back to the hotel to pack our last thing. We really had a wonderful stay here at Sint Maarten in the French Caribbean. We appreciated the hotel and the friendliness of everyone that lives here. I also want to mention that all our videos are self-funded and not sponsored in any way, but we can highly recommend this hotel, Homage, and the tour with Billy Bones Boat Charters. Now it's time to jump into the taxi that takes us back to Juliana Airport for our flight back to Sweden. We hope you enjoyed this video and please watch our other movies from St. Maarten. See you in the next.